run. And like I said, Maxter looking pretty. He's probably thinking to himself, it's nice to have a bit of a break rather than this damn losers run.
He's like right in front of us, just chilling, saying hi to us. He's just happy to be here now. He just wants to watch his opponents, to analyze them, and then get ready for the next game.
Yeah, 1 best of 5. The champion, it's always a possibility, but it does mean for RAISY though, still needs to make that run once again. It's definitely something which has been on repeat for him. And we're like a broken record now, so to speak, saying this again and again. And
so he's a broken record as well. Always getting the same placement, so we're hoping he can break that there as well. I'm cheering for everyone in here, really. I want to see either ZenAku go Super Saiyan. That's a reference to his Vegeta tattoo. I want to see Maxter win a title because we're friends, and then I want to see RAISY also get that first place. I'm happy no matter who wins in here.
I love all 3 of these guys one way or another. So, whoever wins is, I'm going to be, super proud of them no matter how they go. Yeah. But, you've got to talk about the storylines here. Finally, RAISY getting his first place finished after, you could say a well overdue victory, which he should have happened long time ago. ZenAku maybe making it to his first grand final. Maxter making it, he made it to the grand final at the last KeenCon, don't get me wrong, against Sirius. But the caliber of skill this time round, entirely different. There's a lot more players from the QPR who we've got at least 7 or 8 from the QPR and challenges. Of course, with the entirety of the Spanish community dating back for the last 25 years, some incredible old school players like from the likes of Sombra and Achilles as well. Nice to see them because we haven't seen them since literally like the early to mid noughties where they were literally the highest point, and it's nice to see them back considering their stature back in the not just in the Spanish scene, but just the entire Quake community anyway. And the fact that we had that losers match between Achilles versus Sombra, with the fact that they had, 40 plus years experience between the two, it's incredible. And that's probably one match I'm definitely going to watch back, even though we know they're not in the shape they used to be. Of course, life happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there. It's always a game that you want to watch regardless.
Exactly.
It's a bit gutting that we didn't get that game on stage, but there was a lot going on, so sadly we didn't get it here.
It's kind of like, the Spanish community version of the Cypher Cooler you may get, or the Cypher
Raffle, or anything like that. Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
I could have compared it to that, but I thought I won't be too obvious. I thought I'll say it in Quake terms in case normally people watch football. I'm not really too sure. And as you can see, just whilst we briefly wait for the losers finals to get underway, you can see all the players. This is where the LAN is set up and ready. We're actually watching themselves on stream currently. They were been practicing leading up to the event. They've been LANning all weekend long. It could be for 1v1s, 2s. They've been playing, I think someone was playing 44 TDMs on Vale at one stage. It's just been absolute chaos, but they're all done and dusted here, just happily chilling, happily watching to see how the rest of the tournament here unfolds between ZenAku, RAISY, and of course Maxter, just chilling, waiting in the grand final.
Why is he playing? Okay, that's someone else's monitor. I thought he had the monitor tilted. That would be funny.
Do you know what? Before you even said that, I did assume that was actually what was happening. His monitor was completely tilted. I was I was going to say, some people play in mysterious ways. If someone plays with a diagonal monitor, then okay, that's up to you. I'm not going to say anything more about it. It's up to you how you want to play.
But yeah, I mean, next game, RAISY versus ZenAku. Who has the better story? Because all 3 players have a good story, but I want the better story to win. Who has the better story?
I think the underdog story would be between Zen and Max in the grand finals, because he's got 2 players in this high-level tournament to make it for the first grand final, technically. And RAISY, is it the same story again? Is he going to get, another second place to collection? Is he going to win 2 best of 5s and take Maxter down? It's a very tough ask, considering the way Maxter played.
RAISY has a really good story, whether he wins or he loses, because if he wins, he has a story, summer leave, he won the tournament, finally. And if he loses, it's still a good story, but in a heartbreaking fashion, right? Because it's another second place, and the more second place you get, the more it gets to him mentally.
And it's going to add to the player list, Rafa, Kilson, Wenger's done it before, those 3 in particular. Maxter now, the next person. But we knew that Maxter was going to get to this point. It's just a matter of how
it's just a matter of how fast he's doing it, Yeah, like 1-2 years ago, I don't think he would be able to take a map out of RAISY. And in last Quake World Championship, he actually didn't. He played RAISY and he didn't take a single map out of him. And now he just beat him 2-0. And he's in the grand finals. If he does take the win in the end, it's massive.
That's it. Give us a wave, guys. Give us a wave. This is the entirety of the Spanish community upstairs, just chilling at the moment. Surrounded by Achilles, who, lovely to see him again. It's the first time Achilles has actually played on LAN since 2008. Of course, we know that Achilles, you know, I'm sure a lot of people, especially the hardcore fans, have known about Achilles from way back in the day in the late 90s, early noughties, as his last LAN was in 2008. And I was speaking to Achilles quite a bit last night, and he said it felt great, like, you know, playing Quake Champions on LAN, you know, the feeling, the difference, how great it was to finally experience the LAN environment again, and really, you could say, brought back some historic moments for himself.
When did you get into esports?
Myself? Oh, okay, we've got Max to come on to just to say hello, and sure, we've got plenty of questions to ask him, haven't we, Max? Here he is. Pull up a chair, mate. Come on, pull up a chair.
Hello, Maxter.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Lovely.
How are you?
Well, yeah, how are you, actually, considering what we just saw from earlier on?
I was just chilling there in the relaxed zone there. I was just watching the stream and just enjoying this brief moment before the guys start their match. So.
Are you starting to get more rested?
Yeah.
You look like you needed a bit of a breather. Yeah, you needed a bit of a breather, like, you know, just to see exactly how the rest of the matches are going to unfold. But yeah, first question from me to you. Now, you know, I spoke about it before where we saw you play at QuakeCon, we saw how you played against RAISY. It looked tough. It looked really tough. You felt very uncomfortable, but that wasn't because of how you was playing. It was the style of play that a lot of his opponents, especially in the top three, were really, you know, forcing you to not play how you want to play in your style. This time round, it seems to be the complete opposite. You really didn't give RAISY much of a chance to make any moments for himself, to get back into the game on spawn. You were doing everything which just worked perfectly. What I want to ask is, what did you do differently compared to when you played RAISY at QuakeCon to the match you played only just now?
Well, the first thing is I reviewed the match that I had during QuakeCon. I know what things I failed during that event. And I mean, I don't think that we are in the same shape as we had 2 months ago. Like, we are in the middle of off-season. We gotta be honest on that. And probably the performance that we are now having is not the same. So probably he's not aware of some angles, or just thinking that I'm now going to push in certain ways and things like that. Because I feel sometimes that I'm not feeling so much pressure. But anyways, it's still so hard. It's like it doesn't matter what the performance that this guy have, that it's just too hard to defeat them.
You could play your, you know, your S game, but he could play his A or B game, and he'll still be a force to be reckoned with, and it will contend you in every step of the way, and it's really tough. And I know you talk about the off season, but what we need to understand is that it's normally the player's fault in terms of, like, if they don't practice enough leading up to the event, you know, that's on their side and they're going to fix themselves up. But one thing we've got to remember now is that even though there is an off season between, like, now and when the Pro League restarts, it's the fact that, you know, sometimes you want to keep yourself in shape. You want to keep yourself practicing and playing to get ready for that Pro League moment. And I kind of feel like, I don't know if you agree, but nowadays with some of these LANs cropping up, you know, with KeenCon here, we had Iron Fist last year, sadly we didn't have it this year, but with these LAN events coming up, even though there's an off-season, you kind of got to at least keep yourself in shape to a certain degree, don't you?
Well, I think that this is a great thing for Quake, actually, that third-party tournaments are happening, like on LAN, like QuakeCon just a couple of weeks ago. Now KeenCon, unfortunately, Iron Fist is not happening this year, but probably, who knows, next year we have it. And just imagine, we have like probably, I don't know, Season 4 QPL, and then we don't have like an off-season, because now we have more tournaments during the year that are LAN. So that will motivate players to not rest that much and start practicing toward the next LAN.
And that's the great thing as well, because we know that there's that gap during autumn and winter where these community LANs can happen. Of course, we've got KeenCon here now. We had QuakeCon was just incredible a couple of months ago, and Sally Ifis didn't happen, but would have happened. So a lot of these tournaments, which, you know, it kind of doesn't force you. We know that you Quake players, you need a bit of a break. You need a little bit of a break at some point, which is perfectly understandable when you're competing like 6 to 8 months straight leading up to QuakeCon. It's, you know, it's not very good for your mental, but at least it does keep you in shape. It is very difficult. But yeah, I do agree though, like you do feel like, you know, it's very nice to see, but it's like, it keeps you in shape, but you do get that little bit of a break and off season in between, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that players will get more motivated. Like if you know there is a LAN event, they start practicing so much, like their practice just ramp up. It's like, well, Kills and Rafa always says that probably during the online stage they will say, okay, I'm practicing, but not that much because I will get burned. So before or prior a LAN event, they start ramping up their practice probably 1-2 months prior to the event, and that's where you feel like you are the most in shape probably, because trying to just maintain that or to keep that performance of being so consistent during 8 months and not having a break, and you have 3 more LAN events, that's really tough.
Yeah, you know, players, they need a rest. You know, you need a bit of a rest at some point. It's great playing week on week, and don't get me wrong, I can't get enough of Quake. You know, if I could watch you every week of the year, I would. But I know you guys, stamina, you need a break. It ruins your mental sometimes going into it. It is very, very tough. But I don't know if you also have any questions.
Yeah, I do. First of all, who do you think you're going to face in the grand finals?
No idea. I mean,
who would you rather face?
I will play a myztro guy, that's for sure.
Don't cop out. Who is going to win? Predictions right
now.
No. 2-0.
They are truly good. So no. I'm not betting that.
Okay, I'll go for an easier answer. Who's going to get the best railgun trophy?
I don't know.
He's just trying not to say himself.
Well, I don't want to say me because I will curse myself. Just imagine that, I will get the trophy because I'm hitting too much, and then my percentage is lower than some player that is just... I just clicked once during the LAN party and I had 100%, and now I don't know, I have 48. Who knows?
You're going to have so many trophies by the end of this. You'll be going around, you won't know what to do with half of them really much. But I have heard the players are ready for this losers bracket finals. So in terms of the first player coming out, can we have RAISY? And his opponents faced him in the winners semis earlier, but we can see if he can turn things around. It is ZenAku! Like I said before, it's going to be a repeat of that winners semis before, and it's going to be interesting to see if things will turn around completely in comparison, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Now,
I have a question for Max. Like, after you face someone in the tournament, how easy or how hard it is to adapt when you face them again? Do you look at the game that you had previously and try to adapt based on that, or do you think you did well on that game and don't try to adapt that much?
No, actually, you need to try to fix your own mistakes that you did in the previous game. I mean, you can win again, but the thing is, if you won, but the opponent realizes what he did wrong,
you will also fix it.
No, because now you are in disadvantage because you advance.
Yeah.
Now he is the one that needs to fix his mistakes.
Exactly.
So what happens is that you need to keep playing your game and try a bit, test a bit what your opponent is doing.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if your opponent is just giving away too many angles and he didn't fix that, that's the opponent's fault.
Yeah.
So it's just...
So it's a different approach, whether you were the victor or the loser. But it seems that we do have the picks and bans underway for this map. So first, the ban will be from RAISY, bans Insomnia. And ZenAku bans Corrupted Keep. RAISY picking Veil of Nat, as I guess it's not that surprising in the end. It's a little.
I mean, he is really strong there. I am imagining what champion he wants to play there. Yeah. But we can't say that loud because players will hear us, of course. But I mean, well, Deep Embrace as a second map. That's interesting. That's an interesting pick there. No.
Okay.
Well, something curious happening right now. Well, technical issues happening. Well,
do we get the Blood Covenant finally for the final map, possibly?
All right.
I hope so.
I think they are going to fit some technical issues right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think these 3 maps actually are going to be the same because since the system probably is not working that properly, it's going to be the same right now.
Yeah, we'll likely restart this part of the picks and bans.
Anyways,
as we were talking about, so basically you have to approach the game differently, whether you've played the champion, the player before. So how well do you think ZenAku will be able to adapt now to RAISY?
I think that, I mean, he was like toe-to-toe with RAISY in the match.
So do you feel like he has to adapt much, or do you feel like RAISY got too relaxed and maybe RAISY now feels like he has to adapt more? Or do you think both of them will keep playing their game?
I think that there are a couple of things here. One of the things that I'm just thinking is that RAISY now, he has the opportunity to winning LAN event, and he wants to achieve that goal, and that will make it a bit more nervous because he wants that goal that probably this time is possible.
Yeah, because there's no Kilson, there's no Ventura, and there's no Rafa. And it's you, but instead of 3 or 4 players, it's only one contender.
Exactly.
So do you think that is very taxing on his mental?
I think that's something to add to the math, actually. It's in the equation, like, I can be the winner of this tournament, and it's like, okay, imagine second on QuakeCon, second on the last QuakeCon.
Eventually starts getting to you, and even mentioned it on the interview that I get a lot of second place. It would be nice to win for a change, so maybe I can do it here. But he already lost to you. Do you think when you played versus him, he also had that on the back of his mind and the effect of his performance?
I think that's. I mean, if you allow it, it gets to you. Like, just imagine, like, every time I'm there, but I just can't have it. I mean, eventually you will have it. Like, I just cannot do it. I just can't do it. Like, if you allow it, it's gonna stick in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. And eventually, it's not up to you just playing bad. You will just start getting it by default almost. And another thing, do you think it's more? Because I was talking about this with Little yesterday, it's actually more taxing for the players to get second place as opposed to like third place. Because even though second place is a better place, you finish the tournament on a loss. And if you get third place, you usually finish the tournament on a win. So you usually feel better by getting third place than second.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got third on last QuakeCon, and it's like I did the best performance of my life, basically. But imagine if I get second.
How do you feel?
That depends on
Because you're
the
so
person.
close to the win,
that depends
right?
on the person, because well, I mean, you are just a couple of meters away from the belt. You know? It's like you won it. Like you are like just walking towards your PC, and you see it, and it's like it's gonna be mine, and it's like always escapes.
Yeah, I guess it's something like, because when you get to the final, then suddenly it's achievable, and it's a higher goal. If you don't even get to the final, you're happy with what you got. Right? This must be something like that. I don't know. I've never been in the grand final like this. So that's why I'm asking you, because you got to the grand final.
Well, I mean, I don't feel any pressures, to be honest. Not because of the tournament itself or whoever I'm going to play. It's because I was one of the guys behind the event. So the event itself, like winning the tournament, wasn't on one of my goals at all. So, I mean, if the event is running perfectly, not perfectly, but really smoothly, that's my main objective. And now in the grand final, so
far it's been a great event, and we're happy that you worked so much. And we were kind of like unsure about your performance due to your workload, but it seems that you're performing amazingly. We finally do have the picks and bans underway.
I was going to say that as well. That's probably the secret. If you want to, make it to the grand final, you've got to work in production and work as a player at the same time.
So that clearly it's doing mentally.
Yeah, exactly. It's doing in wonders. But yeah, sorry guys for delays. We have got the picks and bans live and ready for you guys. So let's be going straight off over on to see exactly what is going to be occurring. So we're going to have a deep embrace. It will be Ruins straight afterwards, and then the bans are coming in. Blood Covenant will be banned first from RAISY, and we're going to see exactly what is going to be banned next coming up, and potentially the final map. We're going to see exactly how it's going to go.
I'm sad that now we're not getting Blood Covenant anymore. I think I got baited there with that pick earlier, and that's too bad. And that's Corrupted Keep for... Oh, that's a rough one to finish on. That's RAISY's best map.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting. It really is. Like, because I don't think... I could have felt like you probably would have preferred Awoken more in comparison, but
yeah, but
in the end, it is what it is, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know. I think if you go to third map, it's going to be very hard for ZenAku to take the lead. But let's go with the bans on the first map on Deep Embrace. RAISY banning ZenAku's Athena, and ZenAku picking Anarchy instead. So RAISY is just going to go for the Slash, most likely.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me too much. We've seen him use a lot of Slash on Deep Embrace in the past, especially over the last few months. So it wouldn't surprise me if he pick it again. Yes, he does.
Oh, there he goes. He goes for the Slash. He thinks it a little bit, and he eventually goes for the Slash. So ZenAku's time to ban. I wonder what he will ban, because he has a chance to finally take, again, the Scale Bearer in here.
Or the Clutch. He did select the Clutch against him before, so that's, of course, potentially rare, but it's, it takes a bit of time.
He might just ban the Strog. Oh, he bans Visor. Okay, so RAISY, what will he pick? Likely the Strog is a very strong pick on this map now, so if it might be like Strog versus Nyx, and RAISY, there's the Strog, and ZenAku, he might just go for something like a Nyx, or if you want something more funky, maybe a BJ, or even a Scale Bearer. ZenAku Scale Bearer is very good on this map. He goes for the Soarlag instead, okay, just to have the same kind of movement ability as well. So that's good. And then the Corrupted Keep. This is the rough one, right, for RAISY, for ZenAku even. So the ban, likely, okay, the Scale Bearer ban, okay, so ZenAku, I don't know, maybe Galena versus BJ will be what we'll see here.
That's what I was thinking, because it's good for him, because Strog isn't available now since they were selected back in Runes. But BJ versus Galena, we've seen that matchup time and time again, and if we see it again, we'd be surprised. We've, you know, on small occasions we have seen an Anarchy, but of course that's been selected on Deep Embrace for RAISY earlier on, but
we might see Aizen as well, but yeah, I think the BJ or Doom versus Galena is likely going to be the final pick, so BJ for ZenAku, and RAISY is... Oh, the Ranger is still on, I forgot, because Ranger is usually picked on the first map, always, and he was still... I think ZenAku might have forgotten the Ranger was there.
Maybe, because it just sticks in your head though. Like every time you see this matchup, it's always BJ and Galena. It's, you know, like a broken record pretty much. We see it time and time again, and Galena is that nice kind of comfort safe pick, isn't it? When you, especially when it gets a BJ, and you know, just keeping him circling around. But as you can see, you know, it's RAISY's kick for a reason, and as you said, and you're absolutely correct on that, Marcus, but it is his best map.
I gotta say though, I think all of the champion picks are in favor of RAISY this time around. I think Slash is better at Deep Embrace than Anarchy is, and then for the second map, I do favor the Strog as well, because I think you can get a lot of value out of the Peaker in a really small map, in a really big and open map like this, because there's a lot of places to hide. And then in the last map, Ranger is one of the best champions for every map, so yeah, I gotta go with RAISY on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to as well. It's just, I do completely agree. I think the champion picks does work in his favor by quite a big margin, even with the Ranger at the very end. I don't think it would have mattered if it was Galena or the Ranger, but I suppose the Ranger does work more ways than one. We've seen RAISY caught a lot of players off guard with his orb as well, and how he performs with the Ranger. And even if he's behind by a few frags, he can definitely claw it back with his passive and just trying to get around the map a little bit quicker, even without the mobility of some of the other champions. But against the BJ, that will help him massively. So we'll have to see how this is going to occur. And here we have it. So it is going to be ZenAku versus RAISY in the losers finals. Winner of this best of 3 is going to be greeted by myztro in the grand finals, and I'm sure there's going to be a doozy. So make sure you hold on to the seats here to see exactly who's going to come out on top going into the first match, which will be on Deep Embrace. ZenAku rocking the Anarchy, and RAISY, of course, going with the Slash.
That's going to be a really fun one. Both players with very high, fast moving champions, and it seems we're starting on ZenAku on the Anarchy, picking up that Mega. And RAISY already trying to put some pressure, just collecting the top light armor, going for the rail. ZenAku doing a good amount of damage. However, ZenAku still in the back foot a little bit, missing the jump. That only allows him to throw RAISY off the map. What? Okay. RAISY's not going to be happy about that, because ZenAku fumbled the movement and somehow he turned around and managed to throw RAISY out of the map. A very unexpected first frag. And the first one we see of this kind in this tournament, I think.
A little bit tilting, not the start you want in this losers finals, but it is what it is. And we haven't even gone, we only just gone past the 30-second mark as well. So looking at so far, RAISY has picked up the Mega. Tickle with LG damage there coming out from Zen. Almost hits the rails. Let's see if he can get the angle and gets it. Beautiful stuff there. He can, of course, contest any item as he sees fit. He's probably want to try and contest the same item as RAISY due to the stack difference in comparison. Comes in with the Ginja. Good use of the LG as well, even after that Asthma Trail there, that the heavy will be his though. He knows that he may try and go for the light and then go for the Mega straight afterwards. He doesn't want him to recover too much.
Oh, he does not get there on time. RAISY is too fast and steals the Mega away before ZenAku is able to do any sort of exit damage on it. But the stack still favoring ZenAku. Good damage by him. ZenAku is having really good weapon selections this match right now. RAISY will try to attack at this heavy. ZenAku trying to get himself into a favorable position so that if RAISY comes through the TP, it's very hard to hit him. There's a heavy, 2 seconds for the Mega. Yeah, picked up almost instantly.
He saw that Zen had the read, but couldn't take the shot whilst RAISY is flying past around that LG passage. Very slow start to this game. It's all been about mind games really, and just trying to do out damage and contest each other's items. A good amount of damage over the trouble, another good amount again. This should be RAISY taken down, but as I say that, Zen is Redible is going to be so close. He could use the injection, which is perfectly understandable. He's picked up as well. It's actually caught RAISY with his trousers down as RAISY was trying to recover just a little bit with that health bubble, but that's going to cost him, and it does mean that Zen stack advantage, but also the lead.
Yeah, I'm surprised that ZenAku didn't actually go for the heavy side of the map, so he's going to allow RAISY to select almost all the weapons, just missing that railgun in the end. RAISY, oh, he's already trying to close the distance, super fast going to ZenAku. He's doing some good amount of damage, great rockets, and he gets one frag of his own.
Not too bad at all here from RAISY. Good comeback and to solidify that first frag to his name, just approaching the 3-minute mark. Mega has been picked up, Heavy will be picked up soon enough. See how much he's going to delay it. Not by too much, because of course Zen is in the area and in proximity, so there's not really much point.
The good thing is that ZenAku, just by going there, he now has perfect timing on both the Mega and the Heavy, while RAISY does not know exactly the Mega timing. He might have a rough estimate, but not with the exact second. So we'll see how this Mega plays out in RAISY. As I was saying, he doesn't have perfect timing, and he's sitting here 5 seconds earlier. Where is ZenAku? He has to be punishing this. I think ZenAku is missing out on a huge opportunity not punishing this, but at least he's well positioned for the Heavy, which is also great.
Yeah, he's lucky RAISY didn't try and rocket jump up, but then again, if Zen had the LG in hand, he would have been in world of trouble. Both players trying to have high priority there at the top, but a good amount of LG damage coming up from Zen. RAISY does recover a little bit from those bubbles, but manages to get away in the end. He sees that Zen is still on the warpath at the moment, looking to try and continue that aggression. He's backed away again, decided to go for the Mega instead, but the Heavy coming up surely.
Yeah, when I saw that rocket crossing, I just had Drami's flashbacks of him getting destroyed by those kinds of rockets versus ZenAku. Thankfully for RAISY, that rocket did not connect. And again, versus these two, when they have light champions versus each other, it's usually a very low scoring game. Good LG fight by both of them. They're both hitting the shots. RAISY now just managed to go over the railable threshold. That Heavy will help him in. RAISY trying to come in, not really doing any damage, just a little bit of spam. Can he find ZenAku? Not quite landing the shot. He still has a bit more stack than his opponent, so still trying to keep the pressure. And ZenAku seems a bit more happy with you know, just chilling, not really showing up for any angles. Happy not to fight. That's a brilliant rail. I don't think RAISY even needs the Mega at this point, just wants to get position for the Heavy, potentially get it for himself, and then go for the kill. As you can see, he smells blood, he thinks he can get the kill, that's 30 damage. Will he go for the kill before the Mega? He's just going up the jump pad. And the rail doesn't connect. RAISY dropping down on him, the shotgun doesn't connect either, and ZenAku is the one connecting with the shots. Oh man, I think RAISY missed out on a very, which should be in a very simple frag, but missing out on the shots meant that ZenAku was given yet another frag, and ZenAku, this might be yet another one, and RAISY now trying to, maybe a bit of frustration coming into play.
Maybe, you have to see. RAISY's still pretty far behind at the moment, and you can see he hasn't really got any armor to his name. He's still got a 3 frag deficit. ZenAku looking to see if he could try and control that second frag, but it's been very difficult going forward. But again, Zen with some advantageous angles. Wasn't really too predictable there. He's going to try and circle around if he can. Good use the LG, but RAISY pushed him back with that rail. Looking to go back once again. Zen decided, as you can see there, Heavy's up in the next couple of seconds. No, he's going to give it up, but see if he can pick him off just a tad, just to get a bit of chip damage going forward. And even though it does some tri-bolt damage, he's going to have to go back around and just luckily manage to avoid that last round. But the LG coming up from RAISY, absolutely phenomenal there. And you can see he's going on again with the LG, just wants to continue piling on the pressure onto Zen. Zen just trying to survive his life. Great rail there coming out from RAISY, and now with only a 1 frag deficit.
Yeah, RAISY turned up the heat, and ZenAku just trying to find a small hole to hide himself on. But RAISY just keeps going, finally missing a couple of shots now. As the Heavy's about to spawn, and RAISY seems he will give hit away and collect the Mega for himself, so things finally slowing down a little bit. RAISY missing yet another rail shot. ZenAku not quite happy to fully commit just yet. That's a brilliant rocket from RAISY. Getting good place. Oh, it has the rail as well. And RAISY will be trying to close out the frag soon for sure. Can he find ZenAku? Nope. So he's just going to collect the heavy, get himself ready for the next major item.
Mega is coming up any second now. He's looking to see if he can at least get positional advantage, which he has done. It's just a matter of what chip he can do against them before pushing it in. Time this up. Still though, still a few minutes left to play. Good tri-bot damage coming out from Zen. RAISY, it took a bit from the last rocket, but the LG to rail combo straight afterwards. Zen again just been a real thorn. Another rail shot coming out from Zen, looking to try and get that 5th frag and try and increase or extend his lead one way or another.
That's really
Mega
dangerous.
is coming up though. Heavy has been picked up from Zen straight away. Mega is still up though, remember. And he's looking to see where is he. Surprised it's not been contested. And RAISY was tempted, but it's actually backed away instantly.
Yeah, it worked out for ZenAku. I was going to say it could be a missed opportunity for him not chasing that frag, because RAISY was very, very low. But this way, he also gets full control. And RAISY landing a shot just to try to keep himself alive for a few more seconds. Grant gives himself also a light armor. He's actually pushing for the heavy, and ZenAku not expecting that. Gets hit with the rocket, but replies with another rocket and the rail, and ZenAku having the higher stack to begin the fight. He's the one coming out on top in the end, and RAISY putting on the pressure right from the get-go as he spawns. Maggie spawning, RAISY going for an LG fight, and it's ZenAku coming out on top with 3 minutes to go. ZenAku has a better stack and also 3 frag lead.
Minute and a half. Zen could secure this first map. Oh, the tri-bolt damage as well. He could make it 7. Yes, he has done. Now a 4 frag deficit. This is going to be extremely difficult for RAISY. And look at the stack of Zen as well. He wants to increase it to secure this first map victory. Hits him with the rail as well. He's knocking on death's door. Finishes him with a shoddy. And there we have it. We could be looking at the first map victory in this series for ZenAku.
Yeah, for sure. And both players, I think they've called the GGs already. So we're just going to have a victory lap as they warm up for the next snap. Probably just going to do some deep frag now.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
So show us the movement, guys. But yeah, this map, it was ZenAku's weapon decision, and timing was very spot on. He was very ready for what RAISY was going to bring to this game. Even though I thought he had a champion disadvantage, he managed to perform really well with the Anarchy. He used the injection in very important times. And I think the biggest difference was that RAISY wasn't also hitting the shots. I saw ZenAku hitting a lot of very important rails, and RAISY, he had bursts, right? He went for like 2 minutes where he hit every single shot, but for the rest of the map, he wasn't really hitting that well.
It was pretty much on and off, wasn't it?
Yeah, very, very on and off, which is not what we expect from RAISY. We expect him to be pretty much on all the time.
You expect too much.
Do I?
Well, to be fair, it's what we expect. Exactly, yeah. It's what we expect.
That's the standard that we're used to with RAISY.
But there we have it, though. ZenAku does take the first map in this losers finals, which means RAISY can't afford to drop any more.
Yeah.
As ZenAku looking pretty strong at the moment, and I think that first map victory extremely important considering the champion picks coming up next in the next couple of maps.
Yeah, and also extremely important to the storyline of ZenAku. This should give him a huge confidence boost going into the next 2 maps. I want to see if because he was playing a lot more confident as the minutes progressing to the match. As soon as he saw, oh, I'm hitting shots, he's not hitting as much, I can actually win this. And we saw more and more confident plays from him. His defensive play was also better. And I want to see that ZenAku, especially with the start that he had, right? Yeah. I wonder if that frustrated RAISY a little bit, because it had to have, right?
It's a little bit tempting. I think it's a little bit tempting for most people, but of course, it's not the one thing you want to happen at the very beginning of the series. But
or at the very end.
Yeah,
you don't want it to happen, period.
Exactly that. And I feel like for Zen now, the difference we're seeing between what we saw in the last series and now, nowhere near as much hesitation for frags in comparison towards the end. He just continued with the aggression, continued with the pressure. It's very easy just to go, oh, okay, I've got 4 frags, I'm just going to back away a little bit and just play a lot more conservative. No, he just thought, do you know what, against a player like RAISY, I need to get as much of an advantage as possible before I get taken down. Once I have been taken down and my opponent's got item control, that's when I've got to think about my next plan of action.
Yeah, but even like, even sometimes he decided not going for it, but deciding to not chase is fine, as long as there's no hesitation on the choice, right?
Yeah.
We didn't see him lose a couple of seconds. Do I go? Do I stay? It was either, okay, now I'm going in, now I'm going to defend. It was much better, honestly. I want to see if he can keep this kind of shape in the next match as well.
it's all about the mental arithmetic side of the game, of course. You know, you go not only by gut feeling, but statistically what's worked for you in the past, and you've got to do it quick, and you don't really have much time to think about it. That 1 or 2 seconds could have helped you pick up the heavy, help you even if you don't make it, even contest the mega, for example, and even if you don't pick it up to get that much damage done. It's these very little things which is going to make a huge impact on your game, and Zen has definitely capitalized on every single moment there. As we're now heading into the second map, as could this be the last map for RAISY in this tournament, or will he tie things up and take us to a map number 3? Let's find out now. We are going to be looking from Zen's POV. We'll be rocking the Sorlag, RAISY with the Strog. So some people could say it could be a little bit of a difficult matchup for the Sorlag, but I think Sorlag was a good pick, considering the position he's going to place himself in and some of the situations here on Ruins.
I think Sorlag is always, you know, some solid pick. Plus, it was the only champion in the pool that had a fast move, unless he wants to. Yeah, because Skillbearer was also bad, so it was either Sorlag or Clutch, because there was nothing else with a fast movement that could catch up or run away from Strong. So in that regard, it's not a bad pick at all.
No, it wasn't a bad pick indeed, and it's nice to see Sorlag utilise a little bit more. We've seen Zen's one of the main players has been
a little bit by RAISY.
He has done. He's backing away again. Only left on 43 HP after picking up that bubble. Still trying to back away. Still getting chased up. Some defensive rockets there. Still getting chased. But he knew he weren't going to get the frag or stay alive, but was at least trying to get that last rail to do enough to either trade or to stop the pressure coming up from RAISY on spawn.
That was really good dodge by RAISY. You know, he knew when ZenAku went up the jump pad, he knew ZenAku was going to shoot the rocket, so he just stepped back for half a second, dodged the rocket, then went back in. And when he went through the TP, he tried not to go to the most, you know, normal angle, just tried to juke him out a little bit, and it worked. He didn't get hit with the rocket or the rail, and got and managed to get the first frag because of it.
Minute 30 in. RAISY still with the lead. Mega's going to come up in a few seconds. We'll just see how RAISY's going to try and contest his backs away straight away.
Might not make it on time for the heavy. He does go in anyway. That's a good first rocket, a good second rocket as well, but ZenAku managed to get the heavy for himself and get the kill in the end.
Certainly does. Finds him once more though. Zen's like, no, I won't give it just yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised. But you see, this time there's no hesitation. He didn't look, do I go, do I stay? He just, okay, not going. And that I'm completely fine with that.
Yep. Seeing a lot more confident on his decisions. Few nails coming out. Picks up the Mega, has time to contest the heavy as well. Wants to quietly drop down, hits the first rail. That's a great hit from him. Piggy comes out, done quite a chunk of damage for him. Needs to pick up the light, but at least he gets to eat it up and stop him from going around the courtyard. Has the spit in his back pocket, 2.5 minutes in. Still almost similar stacks here, but not after that first initial rail, but at least he counters it with one of his own. RAISY holding the angle to see if he goes back through, but he knows that if he pushes RAISY back a bit more, he's going to be in prime position to go for this Mega. But instead, RAISY's actually pushed up quite heavily, comes in with the LG. The way that it could have come up, and ZenAku, he even hits that as well. Just ridiculous. Zen's able to stay alive a little bit longer, still railable. He's going to pick up that light, but not anymore as he times that one in the courtyard perfectly. He's been in the area quite a while, but not until taking even further damage. Heavy is still up, but doesn't want to take the risk.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he would be able to make it on time, so and when faced with that risk, he just decides not to go for it. And Mag is the next item up. ZenAku nowhere near to get it, but he's at least got the timing of it. 15 seconds for the heavy. And ZenAku is trying to find as safe a position as possible, as RAISY is just running around the map with full stack. Hopefully it doesn't come from right behind him.
That's what he's hoping as well. You know, it's a common position hanging around that heavy jump pad once heavy's coming up soonish. Well aware of that, of course. Managed to get a little bit of armor to his name. May trying to put Jakayo on as well, but it's going to leave a little trap for him if he does come through, saying that you're going to have to take a few ticks of damage from my spit if you want to try and progress against me. But RAISY's more than happy considering the stack, trying to get away from the peak. Has done quite a fair amount once again, misses the rail, an important rail for RAISY to keep himself in this matchup. But it's got such a huge stack, it does mean that he has to require too much out of ZenAku. He's going to have plenty of opportunities over the next few minutes, it's just a matter of how and when.
For now, ZenAku is just literally just trying to survive. He got 2 light armors in the space of 2 minutes, because that's as much space as RAISY is giving him. One good rocket, doesn't really get anything else, and ZenAku did do a good amount of damage, but it's RAISY walking away with the frag, and he still has a decent stack. As Meg is about to spawn, ZenAku actually spawns close to the Mega, so he's going to be stealing that one away. Heavy the next item up. He just decides to, you know, get some more LGM before going to it. And ZenAku, the good thing he's doing is that even though he gave one frag away, he still has good timing on both major items. So much damage now from RAISY, and he can definitely chase this one. He might just chase through the TP. There he goes, he sees ZenAku. Will he chase down the TP? Oh, he does go through, but doesn't really do anything, so all damage there went for ZenAku. Oh. Meg is the next item up, so ZenAku leaves to fight another mid. Oh yeah, ZenAku, that's a great steal from him. He can actually get himself in position for the heavy. Not sure if he's going to do that because I don't think he had a lightning gun just yet, but now he does get in position.
I did line up from RAISY earlier. It's very easy to assume that they're going to go courtyard to pick up that light, but Ben thought twice and went, actually, you know what? We know Zen's just going to take a different path and go straight down to that heavy jump pad and to get away. And there was a nice steal with the Mega earlier on. Now, the stacks are even, so Zen's still got a chance to try and make something happen. The problem is for this Mega, RAISY is in a positional advantage over the Mega with the Contestion, which of course manages to pick that up. Heavy going to follow Sully in a couple of seconds, but after that he's going to be leaving that and giving straight over to Zen. He's now pushing with the LG, got a huge chunk over there, over 200, and the spit as well. Still somehow able to stay alive, but how much longer? As in the end, RAISY does extend his lead.
RAISY was actually railable there for a second. Oh no, he's getting cut off guard, and ZenAku just comes rushing through. RAISY not fast enough to react on that, and ZenAku, I love that play by ZenAku. It's not a play we often see from him, with a very aggressive from spawn, but he managed to make it work, heavy up soon, and ZenAku not really, doesn't really have the weaponry to get it just then, so he just decides to play it safe, get the LG as well, and now we should see him try and take position for the Mega.
It's very rare we see something like that from ZenAku, and RAISY more than anyone probably thought to himself, no, you never do this. Why would you push so quickly, like on the mark with the nail gun there? And you see now ZenAku just biding his time, is giving away his position, but it doesn't matter because the heavy's obviously going to get picked up.
Yeah, so ZenAku, slight stack advantage right now. Let's see if he will try to force a close fight or if he can even find RAISY at all. The Picker trying to do a strange dance to do some sort of damage, not able to just yet. Both major items up at the same time. Which one will ZenAku try to attack? It's a good starting rail. Doesn't quite hit anything else. Can he get the heavy on time still? He should be able to. Yep, there you go. So items, one item for each player. RAISY actually delaying the Mega a little bit, maybe because he wants to try to attack the heavy later to try and establish control as the final minutes go on. And ZenAku, he should be able to hear the timing now. I think he was able to hear it.
But with the segregation, the question is who's going to get full map control and full item control?
Oh no, RAISY!
Well,
since it's going to be ZenAku getting full map control, because RAISY probably didn't assume ZenAku would go down to the heavy so fast, and ZenAku completely ready for RAISY. Now the worst part for RAISY is that ZenAku knows the perfect timing on the Mega as well.
Exactly. RAISY had a long-term plan going.
There's no way he doesn't push this.
And it means that Zen can get both items if he wants to, but you're right, he doesn't, but can still go for the heavy. He can either go there early and get some early damage, or he can drop down a little bit later if it goes down, but you can see RAISY's already down there.
What I'm
surprised,
this is the
first rail.
What I'm surprised about ZenAku not pushing this or that heavy right there is that RAISY only has the rocket launcher. He doesn't have the shaft, doesn't have the rail. So ZenAku, I think he still has a big advantage right now. And RAISY, as you can see, he's playing very defensive because he knows he cannot compete in any other area except the very close range rocket fights.
Even that peek hit gives him information to show that Zen is still denying him the weapons he requires in order to get him back in this matchup, even though it's all tied up.
And RAISY finally getting the rail and the LG. The LG as well, but he gives both major items to ZenAku. So ZenAku, I think he will be happy with that as well. That's both major items, that's one starting rail, so he should be able to collect this Mega for himself. Even going for the angle, can't find it on time. A good amount of delay between both major items, so ZenAku can just keep rotating forever. But he has to drop for this heavy, as it's 5 seconds to go, and there he goes. Will he drop for it? I would very much appreciate it if he dropped for it, but it's not usually the ZenAku we see. He prefers to take the more defensive option, trying to make a trap on the jump pad that RAISY is not going to fall for it.
No, it's not at all. I love this. You know, he's getting some damage with the Pika. He gets some damage with the Pika anyway, but he's just more using it for information and just because he knows the stack difference and how he's just constantly rotating the items. And it's just a shame because RAISY had that long-term game plan with delaying the Megas, you know, to a certain point that he can contest but this could be very important here. Coming in with the rockets, not as much damage with the LG, but cool. And RAISY was able to take him down in the end. He's only got 20 seconds left to make something happen. Will he be able to find him though? 15 seconds left here. Zen now pushing on forward, and Lucas RAISY's using a stock to feed himself info. He's going to be fine here. He's just going to hang around the back stairs off the heavy, and he can just get away. That's going to be it. RAISY will be able to win the second map. The direct is definitely going to solidify that, and it does mean that we are going to go to a third and final map. Between these two.
Very well played by RAISY, and ZenAku, he did push out to the heavy in the end, but I'm not sure if that moment was better than all of the other moments. Because that time around, RAISY was ready for it. He had all of the weaponry, and the stack was also in RAISY's favor a little bit. So ZenAku, if he wanted to be aggressive, I think he needed a better moment. That one, I still like that he tried to be aggressive, but that was not the right moment in my opinion. And it did not work out at all. As soon as he got there, he got hit with a couple of shots and he's like, oh, I have to back out. And RAISY did not allow him to escape at all.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. It was looking to try and take a risk there, but it just didn't work in his favor. But it does mean we are going to go to a final map.
Yep.
And funny enough, this will be the first final map of the weekend. And it doesn't feel like that considering the series we've had in the past.
On stream, yeah. Although we did have a 3-mapper before, even though the first it was the same one.
We could class that as 3 maps though, Kari, because it's still both went to sudden death. It might have just been a first frag win earlier on anyway. And yeah, that was incredible. That the trade-off he Zen did straight away.
This I thought this was the play that was gonna. Like this ZenAku, you see, he had no armor to begin with, and RAISY was completely ready for it. And as soon as ZenAku got inside, he's like, oh, maybe this isn't the play. And he tried to back out, and then there was no chance for him to back out.
Corrupted Keep, RAISY's Keep, whatever you want to call it. This is the map we're going to be going to next. It's going to be the last map between the two to see who will meet myztro in the grand finals.
Yeah, going versus RAISY on the third map, and well, RAISY still has a Ranger available for some reason. This is the hard. So as we're starting the third map, this is the last map of this series. Whoever wins this will face RAISY in the grand final. And we're starting on RAISY with the Ranger. Gets the Mega, collects also the top light after doing some damage to ZenAku.
It's going to be dangerous here for ZenAku. Because in his position he's in, he's realised it's gone all the way back through the red room. Heavy. We'll be up in the next 5 seconds. Probably a gentleman's agreement to go for each other's items. Just going to bide their time at the moment. RAISY got all the patience in the world here. He's still got a little bit of time to contest the Mega. He's gone straight on in. He's going to try and catch me with Cam, but Zen's way gone. He is gone. The man is literally left the building straight away without any mucking around.
Yeah, because of how the knockback with LG worked there, he just pushed ZenAku to oblivion. I thought he was going to try to follow it up with the orb, but he decides to, you know, keep the orb for a better opportunity. He will definitely try to push this heavy as he's just listening out for sound cues from ZenAku because he wants to try and get this frag. But seems that ZenAku has been able to run away, and that's the play by ZenAku. He did so much damage with a dual wield LG that should be able to grant himself the Mega as well. So good play by ZenAku, really good defense. And somehow he's outstacking RAISY right now.
The heavy machine gun is such an underrated weapon on this map. So important. Definitely help yourself get back in this matchup. It's going to be raining rockets though. A trickle damage here and there, a big one there, and it's just consistently damage, just constantly adding up, and there we have it. A good, clean frag coming out from RAISY, and he's already on the warpath again. He was tempted to push a little bit now, but instead, ZenAku's not going to fall for that trap going towards the Mega, but may he go for it now? Not yet. He's been very patient, just dancing around the jump pad there to see if he can move RAISY out of position, which he could not, as RAISY's still got quite a big stack to work with, as Zen's going to have to keep his distance until he can grab one of the items.
Yeah, and as you can see, ZenAku is already prepared to attack the heavy. He's taking a lot of damage. Should be able to get it still. Oh, I thought RAISY was going to get telefragged. Who's going to win the fight? I thought that fight was RAISY's, but then the telefrag could have happened by ZenAku. And at the end, they were both left very low. RAISY's the one picking up the light armor.
He picked up everything up in the red room and the other light as well. Oh, the heavy machine gun damage doing itself justice. 2.5 minutes in, 2-frag lead here for RAISY. Heavy's coming up in the next few seconds as well. He may do, but problem is, of course, Zen's going to spend the first 10 seconds just rebuilding all the weapons. In his pocket, and look at catch with the LG again, 8-4 straight away, faking out the orb, stopping him from approaching that light, can eat that for himself. Mega's going to be coming up now, and does it again, and even if he steals it, look at that though. No, I think it is,
It's still a good steal. Oh, but he gets caught off guard from spawn as well. He should be able to go for the heavy on time, especially with the rockets. Okay, that steal on the Mega allows him to steal the red right after. That's still worth. RAISY struggling a little bit with his movement right now. ZenAku might realize the opportunity that he has right now.
Just keeping his distance. Knows he's got to spend that time to try and recover from his previous engagements. Oh, and as we said that though, finally gets
weapon switch.
Tackled down, and yeah, absolutely. Finish him off with the heavy machine gun. Once again, heavy is going to be coming up shortly. Segregation in the timing, so ZenAku's got plenty of time to go back and forth to contest these items, or just prep early to get a little bit of hype.
He thought RAISY was going to, try and select the LG, but RAISY, he did not move from that area. I think he should be now in the heavy area. ZenAku. See if he can find him. Still 10 seconds to go for the heavy. And RAISY just being very sneaky around the corners right now. Finally giving away a sound cue, and ZenAku can see what he's been up to.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw him off a little bit and just make Zen a little bit weary in terms of having elements of caution. Just be careful of the traps that RAISY could lay, knowing that Zen's got this huge stack. But
especially
Zen's not going to mind. He's got a huge stack. He may have to consume a rocket at some stage or a little bit of LG, but it has the dual wield to use if he does get to that fight, which would be a good opportunity now. He's the heavy machine gun raises back to way to pick up the light. Zen gets the light of his own. Heavy will be up in the next 7 seconds. Preemptively uses that dual wield just to keep RAISY at bay and just to let him know to back off from the heavy. But it's going to rain down rockets again. Look at see if he uses that orb to fake him out. Drops down in the end. Stack's still almost equal until Zen's picked up that health bubble, but a little bit of additional damage there coming out from RAISY as he approaches the red room. But the LG comes out, looking to try and stop him go for the Mega. But I love this guy. Prioritizing the kill, finishing him with the shotgun, gets the Mega as well. Hasn't got any armor to his name, but at least he can deny these weapons as RAISY Runner's only got those rockets and is just going to approach the heavy machine gun momentarily.
And so far the game is completely action-packed. ZenAku, I can't tell who's going to get any of the frags. The one who gets the items still holds no advantage because the damage output of both these players has been insane. And again, a very close fight. ZenAku deciding to run away in the end just to get a bit more of health. Will he go back in for the Mega? He is doing damage. No damage has been done to him, but RAISY is the one now picking up all of the items. So ZenAku, oh! Great rock in ZenAku. He cannot contest for this heavy. Just has to run away and try to fight another day. 5 HP now. And surely the kill is gonna come in sooner rather than later. ZenAku just really tried to juke him out and eventually does end up dying as the heavy spawns.
Good job from Zen, just trying to value his life to the best of his ability, but it just wasn't enough. He's got the LG. Zen's kind of trying to get out of harm's way here. Only took 45 from that heavy machine gun, but at this point, every little helps. 45 there, 30 here, another 30. Can be adding up a little bit. Items are coming up. No too much segregation again. Heavy, and it comes in straight through. Zen's got to be extremely careful. Dual comes out. Here's it. He's not really going to try and peek too much. Not really any damage done with the rockets as of yet, apart from that last one. Backs away again. Knows the Mega's going to come up. Just give up the heavy for now. If he comes with the TP, we'll get a little bit more damage done, but Zen's thinking the exact same thing towards the Mega. LG comes up for the both, left on 62 HP. Looking to bait him out for the light. Grabs it anyway. And still just trying to keep RAISY on his toes. He's picked up those bubbles and the light, and now just wait in the red room to see if Zen will try and continue that aggression, which he hasn't as of yet.
And yeah, ZenAku now starting to be more in control of the items. Only a 3-second delay from the Mega to the heavy, and ZenAku coming from the lower ground really push in. He's still doing a good amount of damage. Does eventually switch to the LG, so that's RAISY's cue to pick up the Mega health. ZenAku coming in from the high ground. They should know that RAISY can't really have much armor to play with. There he is. This should be ZenAku's frag if he decides to completely push it. Trying to jockey the movement a little bit. RAISY still taking damage from the back. 5 seconds for the heavy. Can RAISY escape?
Oh, not a huge amount, but he may be able to survive a little bit longer than necessary to at least pick up the light and maybe some bubbles along the way. Just playing games with him in the moment, just going to double back in, just trying to throw him off a little bit. Nice little bit of damage with the shotgun, but look at the stack from Zen. He definitely has the potential to tie this up and just trying to keep RAISY pinned down, but just can't pin him down at all. He's just going back and forth and just being really unpredictable about which route he's going to take in order to get away from Zen. There's now ZenAku now looking to pick up this next heavy. Mega will follow suit straight afterwards. He's going to contest that without even a second thought. RAISY doesn't really give him much audio cues and information for Zen to pursue. Zen now looking to be a little bit more aggressive as time is slowly running out.
Yeah, think about being aggressive versus the Ranger, especially if the Ranger is being quiet. Even if you have a massive advantage on stack, as ZenAku does. Oh, the orb combo is what makes a Ranger very scary, and ZenAku knows if he keeps pushing that choke point, there is the orb to frag him right after. As RAISY uses it perfectly right on cue, gets the kill, gets the heavy, and if ZenAku needs to come up with something, and there is the something, he gets the Mega, he does a lot of damage to RAISY, and he still has 1 minute to go. Just a little over 1 minute, he can still chase. Let's see.
Just making himself so difficult to kill in a manner. What stack difference there is between the two, and RAISY just
1 minute warning.
Again, just backing away. Still got 3 frags. He's just got to try and delay enough to secure this series win. RAISY's going back once again towards the heavy. Of course, heavy's not that. Mega is. RAISY's decided not to go for it. He'd rather let him waste another 5 to 7 seconds thinking about that, but it's found him in the end on try, but will he be able to go for 7 HP? As ZenAku does. Mega is up though. He can grab that and the light, or at least try and deny some of the weaponry here. 35 seconds. He has recovered. Has the dual wield ready, set in stone to use.
And he knows the order of all of the items. RAISY did a lot of damage, but ZenAku just getting every single item right after. So he's just going to pick up the heavy and rush at him again. Can he get close? Let's see. There's a dual wield. He's trying to go for the rocket jumps to find him, and he finds him again. He should be able to get the kill as well in here, and that's the kill. 15 seconds to go. Can he get the spawn? He knows where he spawns. Can he find him right now? I'm not sure if he's hearing. I think he's hearing him right now in RAISY. Trying to run away. 4 seconds to go. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do one on second, and RAISY advances to the grand final with a 1 frag lead. ZenAku very, very close, but RAISY managed to run away just on time.
Great comeback and great counter as well. You saw, you know, planning these traps, and he was hoping at some stage he would come out from the red room towards the heavy round that route and just trapped in there and does a huge chunk of damage and was just able to clean that up. There's definitely one way to stop someone with his shoes stuck on Corrupted Keep, but this is what I like from RAISY. This is why it's one of his best maps. He's got so many plans and ways and strategies to counter a lot of these players with huge stacks. We know that normally with any other map it's about distance and rail, but you know, it's more ways than that rather than this thinking about that kind of game plan. So good stuff from RAISY to manage to take that 2-1. Commiserations to ZenAku. He will be placing 3rd here at KeenCon, and ZenAku's had an incredible run throughout the entirety of the tournament, but it will be RAISY being greeted by myztro in the grand final. RAISY will have to win 2 best-of-5s. myztro only needs to win 1 to seal the victory.
I gotta say that was the best that I've seen ZenAku play ever. He was trying to be aggressive, trying to take the initiative, and it wasn't lucky in the end that he didn't pan out, because it was a 1 frag game versus RAISY in the end. He managed to take it to the 3rd map, and it was very, very close. ZenAku was playing really well, and I think if he keeps playing like that, he might be the one in the grand final in the next tournament.
You can just see as well with, I think what people need to do is watch back exactly how RAISY positions himself when a player with a huge stack or twice the stack approaches you, and what he does. He obviously has, you know, numerous different plans of action and what he likes to do. He's so experienced on this map, and this is why he's one of the toughest players to really just, you know, get hold of and just at least trap him in one place, because he just does so much to play so many mind games with his movement and what routes he's going to take. And you can see from here, even if, you know, ZenAku had another 10-15 seconds to continue chasing for that last frag, the defensive rockets were more than good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think ZenAku should not be disappointed about his performance at all. It was just a really good performance overall. It was just RAISY managed to clutch it out in the end and take it to the grand final.
There we have it. So again, commiserations to ZenAku. We will be placing third, and we do have an interview with RAISY to see how he felt that match went.
RAISY, congratulations on winning the lower bracket final. Wow, what 3 games, amazing games against ZenAku. First one, you lost it. Second one, you won it by the minimum lead. And the third one, you managed to escape from ZenAku and finally going through to the grand final. How did you feel?
I just feel like, here we go again. You know, it was tough. I was seriously struggling against him. He played insanely well. I kept receiving so much damage that I couldn't return. On the first map, he was one-sidedly winning. I could kind of make it a little bit closer, but towards the end it was obvious that he's gonna win, so I just said GG. The second map was close until the very end. I was lucky he fumbled his movement at the heavy area when we had that last crucial fight, and I managed to kill him there, and then I even managed to get the heavy, so I didn't feel like he has a chance to rush me down again and kill me back to tie it up. And on the third map, well, I had a good start, and then I lost the control, and then he started making a comeback, but luckily the timer was on my side this time.
Yeah, now you're in the grand final against myztro. I think probably you're seeking some revenge, isn't it? You're seeking to win him, but tell us, how do you prepare that final?
Well, he plays really well against me in the upper bracket final, and he was hitting a lot of rails, and I'm just hoping I can do like similarly well with the railgun, because some of the fights were like decided by one real hit, and it was mostly in his favor. Hopefully this time I'll do better, and then I can make it a good fight in the grand final.
Yeah, lots of luck to you for in the grand final, and again, congratulations on reaching the grand final. So, yeah, we'll see you against myztro on the grand final. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for the interview. And as you can see, RAISY's said it himself. Here we go again from the loser's side. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a late one, I'm sure. And
Definitely.
the way myztro was playing earlier, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise. But let's have a quick look through at the bracket so far and see how they actually made it here. So we saw ZenAku winning that losers semi-finals early on in a quite close series, 2-0. But I do feel like this time round that ZenAku put on a much better performance against RAISY. Just a little bit unfortunate with the heavy play, which RAISY did mention in the interview towards the end. And yeah, for playing against RAISY in the Corrupted Keep and still kept it that competitive was definitely a huge ask, but still managed to do it. But in the end, he wasn't able to solidify that final win, which was a little bit of a shame. But in the end, though, it will be RAISY who will be making it through from the loser side, and it does mean that he's, like I said, could be a bit of a late one here for him.
It could. I think we could go all the way and go up to 10 maps, and we know we're going to be here until Wednesday, it seems.
Yeah, yeah, we will. Yeah, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise in the slightest. But just to let you guys know at home, we're just going to get everything prepared for the grand final ready. So myztro will return, and we're going to see RAISY once again for this grand finals, and it will be a best of 5 from the winner side. Loser side will have to win 2 best of 5s, so that's why we were mentioning about RAISY possibly having a late one. So stay tuned, as we'll be back in just a few moments.